Hello and welcome to the vlog. There are now fewer than 3 weeks until I leave the marina and start cruising around the canals of England and possibly Wales if I manage to get there this year, something I have been looking forward to ever since I first bought the boat. And I've had various people say to me, where are you planning on going? What will your route be? And up till now I haven't really decided, but I've had a few thoughts running around in my head and I thought I'd do a vlog about my route planning. You may know I have several of these, which are the Collins Nicholson's Guides to the Canal, but I suspect that if I start showing you on these, I'm probably breaching the Nicholson's and Ordnance Survey copyright, and YouTube is very hot on people not breaching copyright. So instead, a special treat with my drawing skills, which are akin to those of a 3-year-old child, I'm going to draw you a map. Here is my sheet of paper. The first thing I think I need to do is draw England and Wales. With apologies to the folk of Scotland, I will not be drawing Scotland because in order to go up there I'd have to crane the boat out and have it transported by land. Right, okay. Here's the south coast. That's Kent, where I used to live and work. So this is the Thames estuary, Thames Est. And then you've got East Anglia, and then it sort of disappears up towards the north. On this side, you've got a bit of Cornwall and Devon, and then you've got the Severn estuary. And then you sort of come out for Wales, which looks a bit like that. Sorry, Wales. And then it goes up north. I did say I have the drawing skills of a 3-year-old. I think this pretty much proves it. Anyway, Wales. I won't write England because I'm going to draw places on it. So this is London. This, roughly speaking, I suppose here is Birmingham. Centre of the universe, certainly the centre of the canal universe. And up here you've got places like Liverpool, Manchester, and oh, is it down a bit? Leeds. Gosh, I used to live around that way. I should know where that is. But it's a very approximate map. I think that will do. So let's draw some canals on. And down the bottom here, roughly going this way, that's the Kennet and Avon. It's a bit wigglier than I've shown it, but you get the gist. And it ends up joining the Thames into London. So that's Thames. Then you have the Oxford and Coventry canals, roughly like that. You've got the Grand Union Canal, roughly like that. And up from the Severn, which probably points up this way a bit more, you end up with the River Severn and ultimately the Worcester and, what is it, the Worcester and Birmingham Canal. Anyway, they all sort of meet in Birmingham. Yes, this map is going awesomely well. Let me think now. It's not quite as straightforward as that because you've got a sort of confluence of bits that meet round here. That's a bit like that, isn't it? Because the canal, I think, actually goes up that way, and then that's the Stratford. Is that the Avon? Okay. I haven't quite memorised this as much as I thought I had, but you've got a couple of arms. This is the Grand Union. You've got a couple of arms coming off this. You've got the Northampton arm, which turns into the River Nen and goes over that way, probably down here actually. And then you've got the Leicester arm, which comes up here. There's Leicester. So that comes up here. And down from Leicester, you've got the Trent and Mersey, which sort of skirts the top of Birmingham. And I think then heads back up that way again. Let's not forget, since I've put Wales in, you end up with the Shropshire Canal here, which joins the rather beautiful Llangollen Canal here. And I think there's another little arm. Is it the Montgomery? I think it's the Montgomery down here. Now there are a couple of other little canals, but they're sort of not attached to anything down here. So Again, with apologies to people in Wales, I'm not going to put them down here, but I am going to mark Swansea and the Gower Peninsula, because that's where my dad's side of the family come from. A little place called Mumbles. In fact, let's put Mumbles on there. There we go. No canals there, I'm just putting it in for a sort of historic reference there. Now, these are all interconnected. Let me see if I can recall. So that's the top of the Grand Union. And that's the Leicester arm, isn't it? Which goes up and actually that joins that. So that one, you've got a bit of Coventry and Oxford Canal, I think, which sort of goes up that way. It does eventually join the Trent and Mersey. And then there's another bit I seem to recall that comes down this way, because you can come down the Shropshire arm. I think that's going to do. That's my map, and I think you'll agree with me. It's a pretty super map. That's the Grand Union. That's the Nen. That's the GU Northants. GU Leicester. That's the Oxford. That's sort of rather badly both the Severn and also the Worcester and Birmingham. Let's call that the Worcester and Birmingham. I'm going to put Worcester here, which it isn't, but near enough. Worcester and Birmingham Canal. So finally, I can talk about route. Now, I am currently here on the Grand Union Leicester arm. And my initial plan was to go north up here to Leicester, then go west down this one, down through Birmingham. There's some other bits that sort of there. It's a bit of a spaghetti junction on the canals. You come down here and down towards Worcestershire, because I have family in Worcestershire. So I was going to go up, across, down and there. And I was going to be in Worcester for sort of end of April, beginning of May-ish. Then I was going to come back up and across and back to about here for the Crick show, because the Crick Inland Waterway show, held every year, is the big event, and I definitely want to be there for that. And then after that, go down the Grand Union towards London, because I have friends in this sort of area of London, and it would be nice to visit them. However, there's a problem. If you go north up here, this bit is not canal. This is the River Soar. And rivers are a whole new ball game, especially for a novice narrowboater like me. Several reasons. Firstly, of course, they have an actual current, not a tide, but a current where a canal is still. They tend to be wider, deeper, and generally more dangerous than canals. And as I am a novice boater, it struck me that going on the rivers so early on might be a bad idea. The River Soar in particular, I'm told, is prone to flooding, and all kinds of dangerous things can happen on rivers if you're not careful. Take a look at this photo, for example. This is very recent. This was taken on the Thames, and many thanks to Dave Good, a fireman, for letting me use this picture. And as you can see, the boat is stuck against the bridge. It was retrieved by the fire service, but it just shows how, you know, if you're trying to turn round and the current is taking you down the river as you go, it's not like on a canal where you can kind of spin on a sixpence, but you're going to be floating towards things as you're trying to turn or manoeuvre, and that could be boats, bridges. Anyway, rivers, I think, are probably a bit too much for me on my first weeks out on the boat. So the plan to go up here on the River Soar, and there are weirs. Weirs sound terrifying as well. I don't want to do this. So here is the plan. Instead of that, I'm going to come down the Grand Union, join the mainline Grand Union, go up here to either that is Tamworth or Tamworth is here, where it joins the Trent and Mersey. It must be there. Then come down through Birmingham, down the canals to Worcester sort of area, which was part of my original plan, say hello to my folks there, and then go back to plan A, which was up here, again down here, which is Grand Union, down this way, for the Crick show, which is at the end of May. Hope to see you there. 28 to the... is it 28 to the 30th of May? It's something like that. 3 days of all good narrowboat stuff. And that's at Crick, which is here. And then after I've done that, I shall take a leisurely chug down the Grand Union. I don't know how long this bit's going to take me. Getting back to Crick is obviously on a set date. That's at the end of May, and I need to be here for a family birthday party beginning of May. But going down the Grand Union, that's just going to be as the mood takes me over the summer. And then when I get there, I'll probably turn around and come back up again. But I could conceivably do that if I fancied going on a bit of Thames, up the K&A and up the Oxford. I have a feeling that's the Thames there. Right, terrific. That's a great map. I'm sure this made a lot of sense. But people have asked me where I'm going, and quite clearly that explains it with perfect clarity. So, thank you for your attention. So that's the plan. Whether it all actually pans out like that or not, or whether I have to take in different diversions, whether I speed up, slow down in order to hit certain sort of milestones and date points, we'll just have to see. Who knows what adventures lie ahead, but the general gist of it is that big anti-clockwise loop to start, up and then round through Birmingham, down towards Worcestershire, back towards Crick, then down the Grand Union. Perhaps I will meet you on my travels. If so, it'd be nice to give you a little happy wave, and with any luck, I won't crash into you. If I do crash into you, genuinely, truly, let me say now, I'm so sorry, entirely unintentional. Thank you very much for watching. Any comments, questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer as soon as possible. Cheers now. Bye-bye.